Hello and welcome back to my channel if you're a regular viewer, and welcome to my channel if you are brand new here. Today I'm going to be sharing with you an eye look using the brand new palette from Revolution Pro, and it's the Trends Azure Regeneration palette. It looks like this. So it's a bit of a mix. You've got some neutrals there, you've got some red burgundy, some oranges, and you've got some blues in there as well as a black. In fact, you've got two. No, it isn't. It's a navy. That one is navy. When I held it like that, it looked black, but it's a navy, and then you've got a jet black there. So quite a mixture there. You've also got three of their, it's like a marbled pan. So you've got one there, and then you've got one up there. Because I've swatched it, you can't see it that clearly now, but these two in particular are very clear. What I'm going to do first of all though is I've applied the Revolution brow tint to my brows yesterday, did a video about that, and I just want to mention to you, if you were thinking of picking that up, I was really impressed in the video yesterday when I applied it, peeled it off, and I really liked the effect. I also really liked the fact that it didn't take long for me to do my brows, but unfortunately today I am back taking my time over my brows, and that is because when I removed my makeup last night, so I just removed my makeup and I just use a hot cloth cleanser to remove my makeup, and when I wiped off the makeup off my brows, the actual brow tint was removed as well. So although I was initially really impressed with that, I wasn't that impressed in its staying power. It only lasted, I don't know, when did I apply it? About lunchtime yesterday and until about 10, half past 10, 11 last night when I removed my makeup. So although on the box it did say 2 to 3 day wear time, I wanted to try that for myself before I, gave my wear time, and that was only a few hours. So I may try it again. I don't know yet. Like I say, I'm back to applying my brows today, taking my time and using 3 products again. So I was disappointed with that, and I had to mention that today. Also, I've got 2 lots of swatches because a number of you have asked me if I can swatch the Unleashed palette. You are really, really loving this palette and you want to see it swatched. So that's what I'm going to do first of all, and then I'll get into the swatches and a try on using the Trends Azure palette. So I'm just going to open this up so I can see the names. So starting off here, you've got the shade Free. Then you've got Let Go. So the first one is a shimmer. Let Go is also a shimmer. Then you've got Alleviate, which is a peach. Now I would say that's like a velvet. It's not a full on shimmer, but it's also not a matte. It has got some shimmer to it, but it's certainly not as intense as the first 2. Then we've got Breakup, which is a matte, and we've also got Rebound, which is also a matte. And then the last shade here is Disengage, and it's a mauvey matte colour. So it's mauve, but it's matte. Then we move on to the second row, and we've got Cut Loose, which is a shimmer. We've got Release again, which is a shimmer. We've got Reprieve, which is a matte. We have got Rescue, which is also a shimmer, but it's again very much like this one. You have got this kind of formulation, which is not as intense as perhaps this one. Then we have Pardon, which is a matte, and then we also have Your Loss, which is also a matte. So that is the second row, and then the last row, the third row, we've got Closure, which starts with a matte shade. We have got Independent, which is a shimmer. Another shimmer shade, which is Unrestricted. Unrestricted. We have got Liberated, which is a matte. Vindicate, which is a beautiful purple shade, and that's a matte. And then Unleashed, which is the black shade, and again that is a matte. So all of those colours are from the Unleashed palette, so I hope you can see them. It was bit of a squeeze to get them on my arm there, but I hope that that has helped you if you are looking for this Unleashed palette. I must say that this one, the Mirage, and there is another one, the Huda Beauty dupe, they are my 3 favourites. But what I'm going to do, I've now only got a couple more palettes to share with you, and I will be sharing with you all of my favourites from this brand as well. I didn't do a monthly favourite for last month because obviously I've been sharing with you these products, and what I'll do is I want to share with you all of my favourites from the brand. So obviously I won't say any more, but they are definitely my 3 favourite Regeneration palettes. Okay, so I just want to also mention my lip combo today. I have got as a lip liner the Renaissance lip liner in Chauffeur. It is this lip pencil here. Absolutely love this. And then I've got Veil, which is one of the lip pigments from the Revolution Pro range. These are only £4. They are phenomenal. I've got nearly all of the shades from the range now because I love them so much. Haven't got a number of the reds or really bright colours, but most of the neutrals now I have got, and I absolutely love Veil. If I don't know what to go with as a lip colour, I will go for Veil. But anyway, getting back to this palette. So I just wanted to mention those things if you were wondering how first of all, the brow tint, wore, and also obviously that first palette that I shared with you. Now getting back to the Trends Azure palette, it looks like this. So again, you're getting 18 shades in here. It retails for £8, just as the other ones do. You can pick this one up from, and I'm going to say this loosely because a few times I've said this and I can't find it, but you should be able to pick it up from the revolutionbeauty.com website, also superdrug.com, and I'm not sure about Superdrug stores because I haven't seen this one in store. If it is available at any of those online stores, I will link it down below. I'm not going to commit myself just because I've done that now and it's not been available or the site's been down. Okay, so getting on to the actual swatches. So we've got Pocket Watch there, which is a cream neutral shade. It's actually a very light cream shade, so that's Pocket Watch. We've got and that's matte. The next one is again matte, and it's called Purpose. We've got another matte shade called Timeless, and another one called Expedition. We've got then Ocean. Now this one, it's again a bit like a velvet because it's not full on shimmer like this one, but it's not completely matte. So that's Ocean. Then we've got Volcano, and you can definitely see the difference there. That is definitely a shimmer shade. And that is also one of their marbled shades, but it's not overtly marbled like the other two in the palette. It is a little bit, the two colours that are in that pan are very similar. So it's not overtly shimmery, it's not overtly marbled, but it is very shimmery. You can see that from the swatch. The next row, we start off with a matte shade called Sunset. The next one is a shimmer shade called Treasure. This is a marbled shade called New Planet, and that one is the blue one with peach marble effect going through it. Discovery is next, and that's a matte orange shade, and this is the next marbled shade called Element, and that is your brown with cream marbling running through that one. The last shade of that row is called Journey, and it's a coral colour, beautiful. The last row we start off, and that last one is a matte. I don't know if you can see that completely there. The next row, so the last row, we start off with Progression, which is a matte brown. We've got a matte navy there called Night Sky. The next one is Voyage, or Voyage, I'm going to keep to that, which is again matte. We've got Velocity, which again is a matte, I believe. Let me just have a closer look. No, that one looks like it might be a velvet. Let me just take a closer look. It's not completely clear with that one. Yeah, it's a velvet, I believe. So that one is a velvet, and that is Velocity. So when I say velvet, it's not a full-on shimmer, and also it's not a complete matte. Then we've got Here We Go, which is a matte brown, and the last shade is Midnight, which is your matte black. So I'm just going to clean my hand now of all, because I've now touched some shades. So those are all of your swatches for that palette, the Trends Azure palette. It's not a complete, and this one was gifted to me as well by the Revolution Beauty team, so again I'm so grateful that they sent this one to me for me to try, because I know that some of you out there are very, very interested in the blue shades in particular. It's again one of those palettes that I possibly wouldn't be drawn to, just because I'm not a big fan of blue eyeshadow. But of course I want to bring you all of the eyeshadows, because just because I'm not a big fan of blue eyeshadows, there are some of you out there that are. So what I'm going to do today, because if I was just putting on an eyeshadow look for myself, what I would do is I would go for a neutral look. But the thing is, it's got blues in there. I know that there's not blues in every palette, and I know that some of you are interested in blue, so that's what I'm going to do for you today. I'm going to start off with a neutral look, because that's how I always apply my base, and then I'm going to add a little bit of blue as well. So fingers crossed, because again, I haven't planned anything. I never do when I do my videos, because if I do plan a look, it always goes wrong. I'm going to start off with the shade Timeless, which is this one here. Is that it? Where are we? That one there, Timeless. And I'm going to, of course, use my Primark contour eye brush, and I'm just going to, now I say this in every video when I'm testing these out, but these shadows are a little bit powdery, but they do work very nicely on the eye. So and I've also primed my eye. I haven't got it here, but it is the Eye Elements in Central as well. So that's actually what it looks like before eyeshadow is put on. So it matches my skin perfectly. So I'm just going to now apply that first shade. And whatever eye look I do, you know, whether it's applying blue or anything like that, I always not try, but like to start off with a neutral shade, just because that's how I like to wear my eyeshadow. That's how I feel comfortable. Obviously, if you wanted to, you could certainly change that up and start off with any colour that you wanted. You know, it's totally up to you. I'm just really showing you how these apply. But the mattes in these are so good. They really, I mean, the shimmers are good as well, but you know, sometimes in palettes you find that either one or the other is good. You know, if the mattes are good, then the shimmers are not so good. But in these, I found that they are very, very good. In fact, across the range with this Revolution Pro range, you know, I'm really loving the range as a whole, because the quality is there. I'm going to run that shade under the eye, because I always like to do that. It just gives me a nice base, even if I want to add another shade. But, you know, that's just what I like to do with my makeup. So that's the first shade laid down. Now what I want to do, I want to go in with a blue, and I'm just looking at what I've got here, because I've got 3 blues to choose from. And I think I'm going to have to go for the Night Sky, which is the bottom shade. It's the on the bottom row. Let me just show you, it's easier rather than explain. That one there, the one that I mistook for the black shade at the beginning, because it's the only, you've got Ocean, you've got New Planet, but one's marbled and one's a little bit shimmery, and Night Sky looks a little bit more matte, although I think that, yeah, it looks matte anyway. So I'm just going to apply this one. It's quite dark, so I'm going to keep it in the crease. and just blend that up. Like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into that night sky shade. I'm getting very, very warm, so my hair's sticking to my face, and I'm just going to then run that through the crease as well. So there's a little bit of definition there. I don't know why, but every single time I film, I live in an area where it's very quiet, but as soon as I start filming, the dogs start barking, then everybody walks past the house, my neighbour then starts doing something, you can just guarantee it. The ice cream van turns up, a motorbike goes by, a police car, ambulance, you can just guarantee it. It always happens. Someone's just walked past with their dog and they've stopped right outside my house, and it's now starting off that all the dogs in the neighbourhood are starting to bark. I think he's doing something on his phone. There. So that, I'm going to bring this up a little bit more. Like that, even more on this side. If you have, like me, a little bit of hooded eyes, and I did have someone mention this the other day, if you have got hooded eyes, when you apply your makeup, and it's okay, so for example, when I apply my makeup, I always raise my eyebrows so that I can get into the crease, but then you must look at your eyes, and if you have got a little bit of a hooded eye, just like me for example, you need to take that colour high so that you can see it. If your eyes are literally hooded so that you can't see any lid, what you may want to think about doing then is putting this, what I've done here in the crease, on that hooded part of your eye so that it looks like you're giving the illusion then of that part there, rather than if you raise your eyebrows and then put your eyebrows down again, you're again not going to see that eyeshadow. So I hope that makes sense. If not, obviously just let me know down below and I will just explain it. But you can see that my eyes, when they drop, you can still see that colour. So if my eye was to drop even further, then I would just, you know, not go into the crease so much. I would keep my eye like that, and wherever it is laying, I would then form that crease. So I hope, like I say, that makes sense. I'm just going to run whatever is left on the brush underneath the eye now. Goodness, it's getting so hot in here. Like that. So what I've done now, we've got that base, we've got that blue eyed base. Just going to put a bit more here. And a bit more, I think. Like that. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I want to go in a little bit deeper. So what I'm going to do is get a tiny little bit of that black, just to deepen that out a little bit more. If you don't like to add black, then obviously you can ignore this step, but I'm just trying to see what it looks like if you then add a black to it. Because even though it's quite a deep colour, it's really sheared out. And that has worked because even though it was black, I mean, is it black? Yeah, it is black. It's actually deepened the blue a little bit. So I'm just going to do that again on this side. Like that. So now we've got the base, so I feel happy now that I've got enough definition there. I'm just going to see if I can just run that there just to give a little bit of depth there. That's great. Now what I'm going to do is I want to add a shimmer shade, and I think I'm going to add the New Planet shade, which is this beautiful shade here. It's very bright and vibrant, and I want to keep the look quite bright even though we've added the depth. So on the lid, I don't know how all these blues are going to work, but I'm going to just keep it there, because what I don't want to do is put it too into the inner corner. Whoops, now I've got some down there. That's not very good, is it? I think I'm getting so warm in here. That's better. Let's tidied that up. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is get my flat brush. It's just a Wilko brush. I was going to say from Wilko, but it's a Wilko brush. And what I want is I want a light, very light shimmer. There's actually not one in this palette. You've got matte light, but I really need a very light shimmer. I'm going to have to go in with the Unleashed, I think, because that shimmer called Element, and I'll just show you it. The only light shimmer in this palette is that one there, and I've just added a bit onto the brush and swatched it, and it is just too dark for me to go into that area there. So I'm going in with Free, which is this one here, and I'm going to apply that, and that's obviously from the Unleashed palette, and I'm going to put it here. If I don't do that, it just looks too heavy at the moment. So I'm just like that. It's very heavy on the inner corner. And then all that's left to do is just apply the mascara. The mascara I'm using is, as always, the Primark PS Amplified Mascara in black. And that is the complete look using the Revolution Pro Regeneration Trends Azure palette. So that's the palette that I used, and then I'll just give you a close-up. I am fairly pleased with the look. I must say, I don't mind blue, but I just don't particularly like it on me. I have said that a lot. I don't wear a lot of blue and I don't wear a lot of green, but I wanted to test it out for you, and I've put obviously a lot of blue on my eye so that you can see how it works. But I'm not, you know, I'm not really disliking it, but I want it to come out of my comfort zone, because obviously if I kept to the same look every time, that wouldn't be very good. So I hope that anybody who likes blue eyeshadow can now see how this palette may work for them. And yeah, I hope that that's helped you, especially the swatches from that palette and the Unleashed. So yeah, I would love your feedback on the eye look. I would love your feedback on the palette. I would love your feedback on the brow tint as well. Like I said, it didn't last even 24 hours. What else would I like your feedback? Oh, and the Unleashed. I would love your feedback on that. But yeah, I would absolutely love it if you haven't subscribed, if you subscribe to my channel to watch future videos. But until tomorrow, thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Bye.